There we go. Hey, good morning, 7K world. Hey, look, what I'm going to do today is just kind of lay it on the line what it takes to be successful. Uh, it doesn't matter how long you've been a member of 7K or you're just joining. Uh, I want you to pay particular attention to what I say today. Uh, I've laid some things into all of my team band apps, different teams inside my group, uh, and uh, I want to make sure everyone knows that's available anytime. But one of the things we need to do is get people on the band app. I didn't have the band app in the first 4.5 years of the business, but I ran across it because it's not a social media thing like Telegram and like Facebook and all that kind of stuff. Instagram, you know, those just aren't good tools to store up your training and give messages that are only about the business. Not hello, congratulations. You can do that in the chat function of the band app. That's fine. And I have several teams that they have the band app and they use Telegram to communicate daily and do question and answers and all that. I got about 6 teams that do that, and they do it very, very well. I look at all those. But what I want to talk about today is the essence of success in network marketing. Now, in network marketing, uh, you've got to have 3 essential things for a person like you and me or your neighbor, your friend, whoever you have in your team, to be successful in network marketing. You got to have the right product. You got to have a product that's unique, that's different. There are very few network marketing companies in history that just have a Me Too product and become a great company. I mean, virtually none, to be honest with you. But there are cases that it can. There have been a few, okay, but uh, but the people can't make a ton of money in those. And what do I mean by a ton of money? Look, $500 a month will change everyone's life, and no one can refute that. But that is not what most people make that do network marketing. They don't even get to that. But we have millions and millions and millions of people doing network marketing around the world. And what? It's because they have a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit, or they've worked a long life and they see they don't have a lot to show for all their work, even ones that are in, let's say, the 10% bracket, or even the top 5%ers, or even the 3%ers. I was one of those. Oh, I had a lot, but it could all go away and you couldn't sustain before I got into network marketing. So, what does network marketing offer? It offers that ability for a person to be in their own business with low startup costs, and what they need is their own energy, their own, their own, their own work, their own learning, their own. They are the capital for their business. Now, it takes a little bit of capital to get started, and so does everything. But what it what it requires is that willingness to work. Okay, that burning desire to succeed, to change their life, uh, and also in network marketing, coachable and teachable. And if you don't have those 3 ingredients, you are not going to succeed. I'm going to just be straightforward and honest with you today. And if you don't have those 3 ingredients, acquire them if you want to change your life financially. If you want something different than what you've always gotten, you've got to do something different than you've always done. So back to those elements that it takes. That takes that great product. Now, I I don't think anyone can disagree with me that gold and silver is the product of the age. Gold and silver is going to be the product of the coming age. It will be the product that is needed and required by everyone in past my lifetime, into my children's lifetime. It always has been. People just never recognized it. Okay, so we got the product, and it's not an expense. It's actually we have an asset that we're accumulating and building wealth with at the same time that we're building an entrepreneurial business of our own. And that's your team on your left and the right. Doesn't matter if you put them down there or somebody else put them there or somebody under you put people into that. That's the beauty of a binary. Okay. Now, the other thing it takes for a good network marketing company to stay in business and exist and become one of the greats. Okay, what is one of the greats? Being in business for 15 years or more and have growth in front of you, and look, you're going to become $1 billion company. That's what I call one of the greats. Now, we've had a lot of network marketing companies in the past that's made it past that mark, but they ended up, their business was on a kind of decline, and they either had to sell or merge with another company, and that's pretty tough for those that are building that business, but it does happen. And what's the likelihood of the company you're with that to happen in the future? Well, that depends on a lot of those political, economic things. Okay, and the different, and that's different in different countries. But we're here. Our company is based in America, so we're going to talk about it from the American perspective. So it has to have money. See, product, and it has to have money. Okay. And so what I mean by money, whether people that's starting the business have to have a sufficient amount of funds to sustain that through its pioneering stage. And if it comes into problems, whatever they may be, I mean, Herbalife, New Skin, Amway, many of these companies, Mary Kay even, suffered many, after establishing themselves, many periods where they came under fire. And it looked like it was all lost, and it was, wasn't going to happen anymore. But they all came out of it. Why? It's because they had money behind them. Money. Okay. Now, let's take our case with 7K. Look at our 4 co-founders. Oh, we got money behind it. We would have never been able to start this business if it wasn't primarily for a man called Roger Ball. And knowing his background, what he does, and the businesses that he's created in the past and where he's at today, and his family, and Richard Wayne Hansen. Now, Richard has greatly improved his financial situation because he couldn't start it on his own. He needed help. And help was delivered to him by the Lord, Roger Ball. And then they formed an old past relationship, been knowing each other for years, Josh Anderson and Zach Davis, with their skills, both highly successful entrepreneurs in businesses that they own themselves outside of 7K. So with the 4 co-founders, there's another great thing that we have in 7K. It's not single owned. There's not one person that owns it, and then things change as that life situation with that single owner does. So I look back at network marketing history, And I see many cases, and I was with a company, one of the companies that I was extremely successful with, but it was one person owned, and that really is why that company folded. Okay, not that that wasn't successful. It's that that person became satiated, had what they want, didn't want to risk any more of their money to go through a trial that nearly every company goes through. That owner did not want to do that. And so they closed the doors. But of course, myself and many thousands and thousands of people came out financially blessed. We were just sad that they closed the doors. Okay. And so, product, money. Number three, management. You got to have good management in a company. You got to have making good decisions. Got to have people. And if you don't have the right people, you have to change the people. But fortunately, for management, that can change. And it's changed many times with 7K already. I've been here since the beginning. So I know the changes that it's gone through. But see, that's a controllable factor by the founders. Okay. So when you look at those three factors, it's a risk factors that you're looking at in business analysis. That's what we call the risk factors. I have to rate 7K for being such a young, and believe me, we're still extremely young. I mean, in November we'll be 8 years, and that was just with our kickoff. We didn't have officially open until July of 2017, but we rolled out kind of pre-marketing, but we were paying. They were actually paying, so it really started. So that started in November of 2016, and look where we've come. We've become one of the largest players in the gold and silver market, and one of the largest player in modern collectibles. I mean, they have now achieved a level that they are the top player. Nobody recognizes this yet. I do, because I was in the collectibles before I ever joined 7K. I understood collectibles. I understood diversification in gold and silver. So I already had it. Understood you have a little bit because, see, bullion is that security to hold your wealth, maintain your wealth, protect your wealth. Bullion instead of dollars or paper or stocks, bonds, annuities. No, none of that protects you. Gold and silver, bullion does. Centuries and centuries of proof. But the American people, the average person, does not know this. What's the great tool about 7K is we're the teachers. 7K provides the education, and we provide the further education, person to person. So, so what we have is a combination of factors that, regardless of circumstances, regardless of things, we've got that right combination that have pushed through trials and tribulations, changes, evolution of a business, and it's going to be here with us or without us. So we just need to make up our minds. You need to make up your mind if you want to be part of it or not. Okay, that's all. That's all a person ever needs to make up their own mind if they want to be a part of it or not. So I'm going to talk about why everyone should be a part of it. I'm going to talk about why gold and silver is affordable to the average person. And then I'm going to talk about what the average person can do to be successful. That's really my purpose today. But you have to have you have to have foundation. You can't just, say, oh, I believe this is going to, that's the fallacy of network marketing. People jump from one deal to the next deal to the next deal, thinking the grass is greener and it's a get rich quick scheme. It's not, never has been. Do some people succeed better and faster than others? Oh, absolutely. But they work hard for that. There are very few people that just get what I call lucky. Okay. They find the one on their left and the one on their right, and a binary in particular, that they can become enormously successful because they were blessed with that one on the right and one on the right left. Okay. And that can happen to anyone, but it can't happen to you if you're not doing it, if you're not participating, if you're not trying. And so I'm going to give you the reasons why you should be trying no matter what. I'm going to give you the reasons why, for the average person, just to get to $500 a month or to $500 a week, while you're accumulating wealth, while you're securing your wealth, while you're building wealth, there's no better opportunity than the 7K opportunity that exists out there, not for the average person. Now, for the big hitters, they may disagree, and it's perfectly okay. But what you want is thousands and thousands of people in your left team and right team eventually. But you don't even need thousands and thousands. Because if I've taught from day one, since we have a collectible asset that you buy every month to keep your business doors open, it's your utility bill, but you're buying an asset that you're accumulating wealth. Instead of spending an expense for a vitamin, lotion, potion, pill, or some kind of service, that's an expense that's going out. You have nothing a year later or the next day after you spend it or use it. And if you have to buy more of it to get your check, which in most network marketing companies, you got to do that. Just off all the people in Mary Kay, Amway, Herbalife, Melaleuca, New Skin, you name them. They got to buy a lot more product to get their check. Now, if I got to buy product, I want to buy an asset because it's not an expense, it's a wealth. Okay. So making that little comparison says, man, if I'm going to do network marketing, I need to do a precious metals company. Okay. An asset company where I end up with an asset, something of value. Why I'm learning how, why I'm going through. So that's the reason for my job description in my 7 pieces of paper, is when you get a person in to understand, along with this video now, what they really need to do to be successful. They don't have to recruit 1,000 people. They just got to be the steady eddies that never quit, that are always trying to learn, that are always trying to do. When they're accumulating wealth, when they're securing their wealth, they're doing those things. But they got to make a basic business commitment up front. So the people who haven't got their $5.99 lifetime commitment yet, when you renew the next time, if you've been in the bid, that's when you're making a commitment. Till then, you're just kind of toying with this. You're just kind of playing around. Same thing with a person that's going to join you and start. If they can't make that commitment, they're really not committed. They don't believe enough in themselves. They don't believe they can succeed. They don't, That's not a player. They just a customer or a potential. They're somebody in the pipeline. They got to make a commitment to succeed in anything in life, and in particular in building a business. And so $5.99 lifetime commitment. Okay, now they made that first commitment. What else they got to do? They got to make a commitment to be involved and engaged. I don't care if through Zooms like this, but just like my 5 points on my job description, you got to commit time. So you got to put 5 to 10 minimum. I like 10 minimum hours you're going to dedicate to actually learning, building this business every week. And you're going to make that commitment for 2 years before you can even understand how you can be successful. And you're going to be acquiring skills, attitudes, and techniques during that time. And if you're engaged with a team that have regular Zooms, have regular meetings, then you need to engage. So I want you to engage in two: one, a training, one, a business opportunity meeting. And it can be through Zooms. It doesn't have to be in person. It's better if you can engage in a meeting in person, because it gets you tied in, connected, part of the team, part of people helping people. Yeah, that's a success factor. It's like going to church. It's like in any organization that you're part of. If you become disconnected, you can't succeed in network marketing. You've got to stay connected. Richard always calls it hanging around the flagpole. Okay, and I just say stay connected. Mm. That's what it requires. The other thing that we have to do is I'm going to give you what I call the ideal team setup. Now, not everybody can do it this, and I understand, but you're really committed when you come in with a family business pack, if you can do that. Family business pack is absolutely the way you build this business. I've done it since day one. I've taught all my leaders to do it, and they have done it. And that is the way to succeed, because eventually every one of you that are here long term, that are actually committed, that's going to be here, you will have a family business back. And I've got training after training on that. You will eventually, you will see that you need to be your own right and you need to be your own left, even if you want to step up and get that copper check where you've got to personally sponsor too. Okay. But those are control or future growth centers. Even when you're starting, I don't want you building 3. I've never, ever, except in the very beginning in the years when we had a very limited comp plan, yeah, I would teach hitters to do that and get started and then open up another center like I did. But I did it way too early. I reckon right once we started expanding the comp plan and having all these things, I realized 4 years ago that was a mistake, and I went back to concentrating on my top center and teaching everyone to do that, because it's hard. You don't want to try to build 3 businesses at one time. What you want to do is succeed in one, then leverage. Okay. So I want to make sure I get that communicated throughout the field. I see way too often people are struggling, but they're trying to build 3 or 2 businesses at the same time. Wrong approach. And especially as the comp plan evolves with the company, and they do. Believe me, we've gone through, in my 8 years, we've gone through an evolution of comp plan. uh, changes or enhancements, but basically it's reformulating the comp plan to match the company needs, the market needs, the finances, whatever. And I've gone through every one of them. In fact, uh, I helped put some of them together in the beginning. And so with the company. And so changes will happen in any business, in any company. The successful people are the ones who sustain and work through changes. Okay. Like it or not like it. But we don't run the company. The company runs the company. Okay. Uh, the the part we're going through another evolution of a comp plan adjustment, enhancement, change right now. And what's there isn't necessarily going to be the way it actually is. It can modify, and the company's been saying that it can modify, but we got to have data first with this new way that we're structuring the pay plan, with taking into consideration we got lifetime memberships, all the evolution that's come so far. And so we're going to have some time here. And the reason I'm addressing that right here, because this could necessarily happen in the future. So I want people who join 5 years from now, your people, or 10 years from now, to know that similar things can happen. This is how you got to deal with them. Okay. So the next thing, you can be part of helping evolve that change and adjustments. I mean, we can all have parts, but we don't complain. We make suggestions. We make recommendations. We submit them. Okay, because complaining isn't going to do any good. Everybody can complain. But we make suggestions, we make improvements, we listen, we try and help make those adjustments. Okay. So what does it take for, I've got people that's been with me since day one, they're still here. And they've run out of their warm market a long time ago. Everybody runs out of your warm market. If we do the business like that all the successful people in network that I teach, I call it leapfrogging. Why do I call it leapfrogging? Well, I go through my hot 25, 50 people or more. I make my list. And this, again, I teach people all the time. This is the fallacy. People don't make their list. But I showed you that your list is right here in this thing, right here. So, I mean, we pull about 100 out of that, just about with anybody or more. That's our list. But we're going to work that top 25 people. And then we're engaged with you to help you get that so everybody I sponsor, I'm engaged with them, with their hot 25, 50 people. Okay. And we're sponsoring, one on the left, one on the right, another one on the left, another one on the right. It's whatever we can, as fast and quickly as we can. Like to try and go through that top 25 in that first week, if possible, or sooner. Okay. But I'm getting to meet people I've never met. And I'm getting to see who's the most interested, who's the most trainable, who wants to do the same thing. Well, that's where I'm going to leap, and I'm going to work with them. And then we're going to do the same thing, repeat the process, while the person I sponsored is engaged, watching, helping, being part of this, but they're not really the ones doing it. They're learning, they're seeing, or if they've got those skills, they're helping, they're augmenting that. It's more of a team then. And then I've got a whole new set of people out of that second level. Now I'm working down at my third level, and I'm meeting a whole new set of people, and I'm leapfrogging there because why? I'm the most experienced. So the person who's the team leader, the most experienced, if they're building the way I teach, that's what they're doing. And they're driving. I never run out of a warm market as long as I'm working with a group that is working in a bit. And that's the way I've built the business for the last 7.5 years. And so I get to pick out of hundreds of people the most interested, the most uh, want to do this. And so that's how the different teams evolved, because I make myself available to those teams. Well, that's what a good future leader is going to do. If they want to build a large, huge organization, and I've got the largest organization in the company, that's my own peg, my own personally enrolled group. The whole group evolved because it went from a person I sponsored to a person they sponsored to a person they. That's what the peg means, personal enrollment group. Okay. And this is what our comp plan is evolving to. So I want you to understand that. And that's the way it's going to be for a long time, because that's the way it should be. A person shouldn't just be one-sided, because if they're just one-sided, they're not making enough contribution to the company. Okay. They don't have enough here to be able to get that kind of pay that's set up in this comp plan. And so they're making adjustments so people can make even more money in the future. But what I'm more interested in is the little guy and gal, not the hitters, not the 3%ers, because they're going to succeed anyway, whatever they do. Okay. I'm interested in turning the people who have the desire and the commitment, the willingness to learn how to help them financially and to get to that 500 a month, that 500 a week. That's life changing while they're accumulating assets the whole time. So that's who I'm going to talk to right now. And all you leaders, all you people who have all the skills, have all the attitudes, and can do all the things that we do to make building an organization successful, listen up, because it's important to build a sustainable long-term business. People are going to hang with you and have less fallout. It takes this kind of people, hundreds or thousands of them with time, that you want in your business. See, I'm gonna use some examples like Herbalife, Melaleuca, New Skin, Mary Kay. Okay, all product companies. A lot of people start that with that dream to make a lot of money. But they get to the point they're not taught a lot of these things that I'm talking about right now. But as time goes by, they have thousands of people in their organization that just buying some product because, hey, I got hooked on this product. I really like it. I don't like anything else. I don't want anything. And they keep buying it. They may not buy enough PV to make a check. They may not do enough to get the tax benefits for their to get their products free. Yeah. Does any of this sound familiar? Well, ours have a little bit higher standard, but it's a product of value, a product of that's an asset. And our job is to teach this to everyone so they fully understand it and get the tools. Now, that's why I've laid out the 7 basics, the, the trainings, 7 sessions. Those are true no matter what. They're in the band apps, and your responsibility is to go through that once a year. If you're not making your $500 a week, you hadn't got there yet, you hadn't arrived, your responsibility is watch that once a year. Your responsibility is to do that job description. If you want to succeed, you've got to do these things. The job description, the commitment of the 10 hours, the contacting 5 people a day, 5 days a week. That's touches. That's not giving a wealth strategies presentation. No, that's the touches. That's harvesting the pipeline. That's one of the basic trainings. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit more because I'm going to give you some assignments today. Okay. So that is so critical, those first 2 pieces of paper. And if you have to, go review them yourself. I tell you to review them every day, those first 2 at least. It takes you maybe 2 minutes. Okay. And so that's building your business, watching a video once a day for 2 years. I give you tons of information. Other leaders provide information. I want you to view mine because you're in my group. You need to know my culture, my philosophy. And I just happen to be the most, I've been blessed. I'm the most successful person in the company right now. I got the biggest teams in the company. I have the biggest organization. So I think you'd want to learn. And this is not the first time. I've done it before. So I've done it again. So it's that I know these things work. They're proven. So all you need to do is do them. Now, are they're additions? Yeah. Do other leaders have great ideas? Absolutely. They enhance and the things that I've done. Many of the leaders out there do. I got plenty of leaders in the company that have enhanced and build it even better, but they do it off the base of what I provide. The base always stays the same, but you can have other augmentations. Okay. So for the ones that will, I know your dream might be to make 7,000 a week. But if you would be completely happy if you got to 500 a week in 10 years, and that would be okay. You can even get better because when you get to 500 a month, that's that step to get to the next thing, 500 every other week. And then that's that next step to get to 500 a week. And when you get there, well, you got there, you keep doing the same thing that you've been taught and you've been doing to get there, and you can get yourself to that 1,000 a week. And that's what this comp plan provides for you. I'm speaking to those of you, because you don't have to have a growth factor on left and right to make that $500 a week. You have to have commitment, perseverance, persistence. That's what you have to have. Patience. You have to be doing the basics over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again until it develops for you. So I'm gonna share my screen just so we can go over this, and then I'm gonna give everybody their homework, okay? So we can have a time for a good Q&A session here. Okay, so everybody knows the 7 pieces of paper I talk about. I'm not going to train on it, but these are the papers. If you haven't seen it, they're all in the band apps. You need to learn how to use the band app, learn how to find out how you can download attachment, how you can find everything in the band app. Okay. If whatever team you're in, okay. And here's that basic job description. This never changes. Hey, I do this myself now every day, even after 8 years. I'm doing this. Actually, I do a lot more because I basically put full time into this. I put, well, I don't want to even tell you the hours I put, but I enjoy it. Okay. I mean, when you enjoy what you do, it's not work. And so these are the very essential things you must do. And if you're not doing them, you're the reason you're not succeeding. You are the person you look at the mirror. If it's to be, it's up to me. Okay. And the only reason I put the other pieces of paper there for you is for you to understand this is the whole thing. As I taught from the very beginning, all you need is one on your left and one on your right. Well, if you've got a family business pack, that would be you and you. Now, you wouldn't have this in the middle. I needed my other pieces of paper up there. Got the wrong one here, the one where I have nobody in the center. Okay. And so what you have is you want to get 25 people here and 25 people here getting that corner of the month every month. That's 25 times 20. That's 500 points coming up. Hey, that's a $500 check, no matter what. And if you've got a family business pack, you're in total control of that check. Yeah, you'd buy 3 coins in a month, but you're buying an asset and you're coming out positive cash flow ahead. That just makes plain business sense. It's not lotions, potions, and pills with expiration dates and a true expense with nothing left. So at comparison, we need to be able to understand and communicate over and over. But then you have exponential expansion. Then you have attitude. Then you have belief. And so you got to get these things. So that's what I mean by that job description. Okay. So what's important here in this share plan, the new share plan, is that part right there. To get that $500 check, you need one on your left and one on your right, and you have 0 growth factor. So you have no concerns about this. And in a growth factor in a rolling 28-day period, 4 pay periods rolling, you only need 1 new sale on your left and 1 new sale on your right in your 5 PEC, in your 5 personally enrolled group. Well, as you're building and growing and doing this business and you're working those, harvesting those pipelines, you'll be able to get that. But that'll allow you to get that $1,000 checked in. And then when you only need 2 and you only need to sponsor 3 people, that's why I focus right here on those first 3 levels. Because that learning to do these skills and to build a business the way I teach, when you can learn to do that as a team, then you can have many of your people getting to a $2,000 a week potential. That's a 6-figure income. Not many people in network marketing make that. And I truly believe this company will be the company that produces more people making a 6-figure income than any other network marketing company in the past. Now, how long it's going to take to get there, it's just how long people take to catch the vision that I have. Catch the vision. Because believe me, this is the simplest way to make a 6-figure income than any network marketing company that I know of for the average person. For the person that normally quits, that does networking for years and years and years and doesn't even make 500 a year, let alone 500 a month. So how do we get there? Well, we get there the way I'm talking about, because see, those product purchases come up with no matter how many levels. It doesn't matter who put them there. Your only limitation with this new plan is where the membership points will only post up 5 peg levels. That's all. Okay. PEG, personal enrollment group. See, I'm putting thing and growth factor, GF. So I'm putting acronyms to this thing so we can talk about it easier than all that long language. Personal enrollment group, PEG. Now we know what we're talking about. Okay, growth factor. Now we know what we're talking about. How many sales were made in those first 5 active PEG levels? Okay, how many sales were made in a 28-day period, in a 4 rolling week period? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing the screen on this, and I'm going to go back to the homework that I'm going to give everybody. I don't care how long you've been in the business, and this is particularly true for those that are just starting. And if you haven't done what I'm about to share with you, everyone needs to do this like right now. Okay. And so I am, let me see, find the right screen to share. Huh? There's a part of the problem when I don't have my readers on. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna go first to setting up your business. Okay. And some of the things that I provided. So if you're really sincere about this, you're going to make a long-term commitment to yourself. So you get your membership. So you got your $5.99 behind you. Now you got to have some real tools. So you're going to work the warm market the way we teach you, but I'm going to give you something that's going to help you long-term. Now it's going to cost you some money. Well, businesses cost money. Okay. I don't make any money on what I'm sharing with you. Okay. Zero, not 1 penny. But I want you to have a landing page. This is how I've done with influencers and others. A landing page is where you can send people. So it's going to cost you $150 a year, or if you get a 5 funnel one, it's going to cost you $300. So you're going to create your own funnel. Okay. How are you going to create funnel? You're going to pass out QR code cards like this, which again, I make no money off of any of this, not 1 penny, but I've allowed you to be able to get 1,000 of these for about $55. Back, front, printed, you can pass them out. What I want you to do is pass out 1,000 of these when you're talking about, it's part of that 5 a day. Okay. Are you going to get hits on that? Some people do, some people don't. Some people have to pass out thousands of that. It's kind of like TV advertising. They advertise, they don't get hits on it all the time. Okay. Well, this is a very easy way to constantly advertise your business and learning new ways to leave these things out. But your job is to give out 1,000 of these. Okay, so let's say that's about $200 a year. Added business expense, that's a type write-off. Okay, now you don't have to do this, but I'm just saying what it is to make you successful and that long-term commitment. Okay, so you're going to get a website that looks like this. It's called a landing page. And see, as you passing out these cards, you're not asking for people's names, number, but it tells them what they need. You'll learn to say a little quick peak interest statement when you pass out the card and you're giving the card away, when you're doing it personally. Okay. Well, they'll go read this. Okay. And if they want more information, they'll put their name and number in, and then bingo, you get it in your database. You get notified. Now you have a lead, a follow-up. Now you can make it go in that inflow and getting it. You can leave it at this. So you're capturing their name and number. Okay. Or you can take them to the second page, which you're going to introduce them, give them all the videos and things, but you already got their name and number. So if you'll learn how to do what I call my 22nd century business building system. It's in the Band app. Just look it up. It tells you how to set these up, where to go, where to get them. And then there's someone in the group that can help you that's done that. But you need to make a commitment to your business if you want to succeed. Okay. And this is a way you will always be prospecting. Always. 10 years from now, you'll be prospecting. Okay. And that's the key, is you keep doing the same thing. Now, so that would be let's say $600, $200, $800 to start your business. Now, that's added. If you've got a business family pack, you'll just add this extra $200 to that. But now you've got all the right tools and you're committed. And all you have to do is follow all the business building. Okay. Now, more homework. Okay. Let's go to your band app, whichever team you're on. But inside the band app, you're going to have the notice section, which is where everybody wants to start. Okay. And with the training that's there. And I'm going to have to update these things because they're changing the website. So I'll be changing the website walkthrough. So it saves people time. But what I'm going to do right now is show you as the more recent post. Like when I put this training in, it'd be the one on top. So other trainings are down below in the post. Now you can search for them in a search function, hashtag, and look for a subject matter. But what I want to do here is give you some homework. I want you to walk out of today starting to be productive again. Okay. Especially if you've been in a business for a while. Okay. And it's a simple June 1st, simple must do with your new member if you want to build and duplicate. So if you'll click on view more, you'll have that post come up, and you'll want to do that because if you're just looking at my training link, you don't get to see everything else that's in there. And notice, even I put these PDFs down here that I talk about in the training. But here's your homework. And if you haven't done this already, then you definitely need to do it. You take a look at your downline and you work on your pay side. Now, if you've got both sides, you're trying to earning income, you're going to need to do both sides at the same time. But if you've got bank, in other words, you've got over 1,000 points on one side, more, then you work on your pay side, okay? And work there first. Get it all done there first, and you'll understand what I'm saying. What I want you to do is I want you to copy and paste. Now, notice you got a passcode on this because I don't make this available on YouTube. I don't want everybody in where I want you. It's why their autosaver doesn't cost them what they think they're costing. And that's so important. You got to get to a new member immediately. Once they sign up, you send them home with this. So they watch it. This is the first thing they watch. Now, I want you to go through every active person on your pay side. You send them this link. Then you call them and say, did you understand what you did? Oh, I hadn't watched it yet. Well, watch it and let's talk. This is how their autosaver is cost them less than what they think, or it's free. Less than cost, or it's free. Now that's where, because everybody thinks they're spending money every month. They're not. Their taxes are buying it for most people's part, or they get all the other discounts that's off of this through loyalty points, to savings, and et cetera. But I'm not going to go through the training. Your job is to send this to everyone. And then you follow it up. Once you send them that, number one thing, what do? You follow it up with a validation that what I said is true by a professional, that the taxes are paying for everything. And if they're not in a network marketing company, home-based business, they're brain dead. Well, we didn't call them brain dead. She did. Okay. You send them this. So you've got an IPA to do right now. You don't say, well, I don't know who to talk to today. And then once you do that, once you see that, and you know what you follow up with a phone call. These are people in your group, and you send them number 3, which validates buying these collectible coins turn into real profit and real assets with time. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Everything's kind of 1, 2, 3 with me, everybody. Now, you do that on your bank side next with all actives. Then you go back to your your pay side and you do all inactives. Same thing. So don't you got work to do this next week and follow up. You know, you can't just send them and expect that they've watched these things. You got to follow up. Hey, what do you have any questions on that? What did you see? What did you like best? I always like, what do you like best about what you just saw? Well, I hadn't had time to watch it. Well, why don't you take time? It's only you can look at the videos, see how long they are. It's only that much, and I'll call you back tomorrow, or I'll call you back in an hour. See, a couple of these videos are only 15 minutes. Okay. So that's your homework. Now, anybody new coming into the business, now you know what you send them home with and you follow up with, but you already got them on the band app, so they know where the band is. You can actually just show this to them, but I don't like doing that. I've found that that's not that they have a problem getting back on the band. They forget, they won't call you. I like sending it to them through a text. Okay. People answer texts, not so much for email. People disregard email today. Okay. So I wanted to give you some homework that'll be productive for you, that'll get people engaged again, and and just giving them some love and support. You can then, once you do this, you can make sure you send them the new wealth strategies video, especially inactives. They probably hadn't even seen it. So you have work to do every day. It's just a matter of finding those things to educate, to communicate, to get people plugged in. And you're the fuse to get people plugged in. If it's to be, it's up to me. Okay. So I guess I still got to share. I talked about making $500 a month, didn't I? Yeah. So, I've got to jump in and go to our income disclosure as I bring this one to a close. And people are really making this kind of money in this company, literally at these levels and these averages. And we encourage everybody to look at this and the the probability. I mean, we got 3 new platinum levels now. That's going to come with time. Okay. But let's just shoot for getting to the associate, getting that $500 a month, and then turn it to $500 every other week. Because quite frankly, here's what I did with another person. Not only did I give you the example of 25, 25, then when that grows to 50, when that grows to 100, when that grows to 1,000 people on your left team and right team, getting that 20-point coin, that's 20,000 points coming up on each side every month. Well, that's enough to make a $20,000 check, $4,000 or $5,000 checks. Okay. that's in a perfect scenario, but doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to happen. But here's what I really wanted to show you. You don't need to personally sponsor hitters or things like that. You just need somewhere on that team where you have 10 people making a $500 check a month on your left team, 10 people making a $500 check a month on your right team. For them to make a $500 check, they have to have 1,000 points. Well, I mean, 500 and 500, that's 1,000 points. So 10 times 1,000 is 10,000 points, right? 10 times 1,000, that's 10,000 points coming up in a month. That's enough to make a $10,000 check in a month. That's a six-figure income, everyone. That's enough to make 2,500 every week. So see, bite the element a piece at a time, just one bite at a time to eat that big elephant to get to that 1,000 a week, that 2,000 a week. Just take a bite at a time. And make sure you're using all the basic trainings, the 7 series that I went through, the basics of network marketing. Make sure you're reviewing them, you're understanding, and you master them. If you master them, you will become immensely successful. Harvesting the pipeline. This is what I just gave you another tip on how to harvest. You're always working with the people that's already in your group, either active or inactive, but you're also working with everyone that told you no in the past. Harvesting the pipeline is one of the most important functions you can do over time. I'm still harvesting the pipeline. I just had somebody join me in this last 2 weeks that I've been talking to for 7.5 years. They just joined. Harvesting the pipeline. That's what you want. I hope you'll all see what I see. I hope this benefits you and your teams in the future. And have a blessed day. Thank you so much. If I can find my recordings things here. I can't get my tools to come up when I'm sharing screen. Can you believe that? Always end up having this kind of little problem here. Thank you.